Right.
Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. I've got a thermal night vision daytime scope video to show you guys. DNT contacted me several months ago, asked me if I would like to try one of their thermals. And if you're familiar with my channel, I've reviewed several thermals on my channels down through the years. And, you know, I was thinking to myself, this thermal is going to be just like any other thermal that I've used, okay? But I was wrong. And I've been using it for 6 months, okay? So I have put a lot of time behind this thermal before turning on the camera, because anytime I give you guys a review, I want it to be something that I've tested or shot a ton or used out in the field, so it will allow what I say to have some kind of credit. Now in front of me is the ThermNight 335R. Now this is not their highest resolution thermal daytime night vision optic. It is one of their high ones, but it's not the highest. So they do make one that has a little bit, or actually twice the pixel rate as this one, but this one still films in very good quality. But if you want to save just a little bit of money and the quality of the picture is not, you know, what you're really looking for, you just want to go out and hunt and eliminate some predators on your property or whatever have you, this one will work just fine. All right, before we start shooting with this particular optic, there are a lot of things that we need to go over, okay? And if you're clicking on this video, you're probably tapping that 10 times fast forward and say, get to the point, get to the point. But I want to do a thorough review on this because sometimes the manual is not really clear about certain features on it. And if you're watching this video and you just got one for Christmas, or you're going to get one for Christmas and you're opening up, you want to know what the buttons do and want to know pretty quick so you can get out in the field and hunt. But it has a very good user interface right here on the top and also to the side. And if you do get this optic and you put it on your rifle, I will give you one piece of advice. Turn off all the lights in the bedroom and learn to run these buttons from memory. Okay, so if you're out in the field and you're hunting and you want to switch from thermal to night vision, or night vision to thermal, you want to zoom, you want to have your rangefinder, get to know these buttons in the dark, because you're going to be using this optic primarily in the dark. So get to know these buttons, and they're really easy once you get familiar with them. You've got your zoom right here. And this optic will go from 2.5 all the way to 20 power digital zoom. You have your menu button right here on the top, the button on the far left. So this is one thing that I had to figure out kind of on my own. But if you hold this button down, it goes from day vision to night vision. Not from day vision to thermal, but from day vision to night vision. It actually turns on the IR here on the left-hand side. Your bottom button right here will give you, that turns on your camera so you can start recording. And it also films audio along with the video, which is a really cool bonus. The one on the far right, this is your picture-in-picture and also your brightness. So if this optic is so cool, and I'm about to get into it here in a minute, it actually has a picture-in-picture feature. Right here to the left-hand side, which you can't see, but I'll get some B-roll of it, this is your rangefinder. So this has a built-in rangefinder in it that will range up to 1,000 meters. And the other button right beside it, that will switch between your thermal or your daytime and nighttime, depending on which one you want your primary scope to be used. Now, when you get this optic, you have to sight in the daytime scope. That's the easiest. It has a really nice sight-in feature. So what I like to do is get a target at 100 yards. That's what I like to be zeroed at. A big target, put a sticker on there or something like that. I like to use a big piece of steel and spray paint it so I can see my impacts. And you shoot. Once you shoot, if you're, you know, a foot high and a foot left, you go into the zeroing mode. You scroll down and it has something called, I think, picture lock or photo lock or screen lock. You scroll over to that with your crosshairs right in the middle of the target where you're aiming before, and it takes a screenshot, a freeze frame of the screen. And at that point, you just scroll another crosshair up to where you impacted, hit enter, save, and boom, you're sighted in with 2 shots. It's so simple. But you also have to sight in the thermal, since they're 2 different scopes. Right up here is your your day nighttime scope, down here is your thermal. So you can't just sight in the thermal and expect the daytime to be sighted in. You can't just sight in the daytime expecting the thermal to be sighted in. You have to sight in both of them, and it's very, very easy to do. But I've got some targets downrange, and I've got some hot hands on targets. I've taken some blowtorch to some targets. I've got a Volkortsen 17 HMR. This is primarily my varmint rifle at night, and got it suppressed here, shooting some CCI VNTs. And this is primary go-to at night, whether I need to shoot an armadillo or a raccoon or a skunk or anything that's on the farm that I need to take care of. This is the rifle that I usually use. So I'm gonna load the rifle, and I'm gonna show you the difference between the daytime and the nighttime, where you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, one of the important things of a nighttime optic or any kind of digital optic is boot up time. So I'm gonna press the button here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I have now the DNT optic coming up, and now we're ready to go. So less than 8-second boot up time. So if you see something, you hear something, you don't have to wait for, 20, 30 seconds for it to boot up. This thing was ready to go in about 8 seconds. So let me hit the record button right about now. Okay, now I'm recording. And you are seeing my picture. Right now it is set on the day scope, the digital scope feature, so you would use this during the daytime. Right now I'm set at 5.5 magnification, 5-time magnification, and you can zoom all the way in to 20 power, okay? So right here on the front, you have your focus. So you see how that goes out of focus and back into focus. And right here on the left-hand side, you can just press one button and you go to thermal. It's as simple as that. So your thermal and your daytime scope can be easily swapped back and forth. So I've got a few rounds loaded up here, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to shoot this plate right here. Now this is at 100 yards. All right, you guys are seeing exactly what I see. Here's a 2-inch plate. Wham. All right, back to the 4. So as you can tell, once you get this particular optic zeroed, it's pretty easy. All right, let's go just right here. All right, so that's the gist of the the daytime scope. So if you're going to be using this for squirrel hunt during the daytime or rabbit hunting, whatever you have, and you have it on this particular optic on your favorite varmint rifle, you don't have to take it off to use in the daytime. You can use it at daytime and nighttime. And the great benefit of this, which I'm fixing to show you, is this feature right here. So you can press this button right here on the side, okay? And you can increase and decrease the brightness. You can hold it down, and once you hold it down, you have a picture-in-picture on the screen. So you have the thermal in the top left, and you can move that window on the right-hand side, the bottom, left, right. You can move it anywhere on the screen. I've got mine on the top left-hand side. So as you can see, I've got thermal and daytime vision. But the reason why I like the night vision and the thermal setting, and I'm going to show some footage right about now when I was in Texas, thermal is wonderful for picking up objects that you just want to scan an area. With night vision, you really can't, you don't get a heat signature, so you really can't pick up a lot when you're just scrolling and looking through a field or the weeds or whatever when using night vision. That's when thermal comes in. You can scan across and like, oh, there's a heat signature. Then you can click on your night vision and actually see what it is. Thermals are great, but the bad thing about thermals sometimes is you really can't tell what you're shooting at. When you're out hunting, you don't want to try to be shooting at a coyote and it's somebody's dog that you accidentally shoot. That would be the worst thing in the world. So, but with the night vision, you can actually have a good, clear picture of what you're actually trying to shoot at. So let's switch it over here. Now I'm going to take the picture-in-picture off. Okay, just simply hold down that button, and I'm going to swap to thermal here. All right, so I can't remember if I put one in or not, but I think I did. But this is your thermal, and you can actually zoom in on your thermal. That is a 4-inch plate at 100 yards. Hit it. This is the 2-inch. Hit it. All right, so right here on the steel target, I've got a hot hands up there. And you guys, I think I turned off the camera. All right, so all of the things I just did before, you didn't see, but now you can see I'm on the thermal mode. And I just hit the 2-inch plate. I'll hit it again. All right, there's the 2-inch plate. And right here's the 4-inch. All right, now this is in thermal. Here's the great thing about thermal. You can change your different features of the thermal. So right here you have your target. Right here you have your iron hot. Some people call it the rainbow. Right here is your white hot. So anything that is putting off a heat signature is going to be glowing white. And right here is your black hot. So, and right in the front here, this is how you can actually focus in on your thermal. So if it's out of focus, now right there at that hot hand, 100 yards, bam, there went the hot hand. Now there's also a hot hand out here on that prairie dog. See if I can hit it. Bam. Let's go back to the 2-inch plate. Okay, and just to swap over back to your day vision is just one click of a button, or night vision, depending on what mode you have it in, and you're good to go. So this optic is pretty incredible. And I have used this optic several times in the field. I had to turn the camera off. In the field, and a lot of times I couldn't tell exactly what the thermal was picking up. It's just a blob, okay? Then I will click to the night vision, zoom in, and I could tell exactly whether it be a deer, a hog, a raccoon, an armadillo. And like I mentioned before, this does have a built-in rangefinder. So you click right here on the left-hand side and it will give you a range. You can also store different ballistics. It has a ballistic calculator built into it. So once you range that animal, if you have that ballistic calculator already set, it will tell you where to hold on that particular animal. I have used a lot of optics, a lot of thermals. I've got a ton of them. The big deal breaker for me when it comes to thermal optics, one is the clarity and also the weight and size. You've got all three things built in to this one optic. Okay, night vision, day vision, and also your thermal. And it's a third of the size that a lot of the other competitors out there are using. And the price, for the most part, is a little bit less expensive. And another great thing that I like about this optic, say for instance, you're out hunting on an 8-hour hunt, okay? And a lot of people, when they do thermal hunting and night vision hunting for coyotes, they're out all night, okay? And so you're out there for 8 or 9 hours. With a lot of the competitors out there, once that battery goes dead in about 4 or 5 hours, guess what you have to do? You have to either get a battery pack, plug up to it, or you have to take it back inside, put it in a Class C charger, and it's going to take 4 or 5 hours to charge back up before you can go hunting. The wonderful thing I like about this particular optic is mine particular one came with 2 batteries. These are lithium batteries. This one goes dead after 4 or 5 hours. Simply take it out, put this one back in. You're good to hunt for another 4 or 5 hours. So I always kept one of these charged with me when I go out hunting. For the price point, honestly, in my opinion, and you guys have told me this in the comments on other thermal videos that I have made in the past, they're like, man, you got to get a DNT. You've got to get a DNT. And honestly, for the price point, this blows away anything that I've used. It's easy to use. It is compact, and it has a little bitty USB Type-C right over here, excuse me, that you just plug it into your computer recognizes it, then you can dump all the video onto there. It's very simple to do. You can focus this IR on, you can kind of do a floodlight if it's like 10 yards away. And I was taking pictures with this at 250, 300 yards with the night vision, and it was clear as a bell. If you're looking for night vision, or day vision or thermal, and you kind of want all three to be used on one rifle, for the price point of this particular optic, you honestly, you can't beat it. And I have used this thing in the field and used it, and I've kind of waited this long to give you guys a 100% opinion, because I can sit here and make a video about an optic or whatever, but if I don't use it in the field, I really can't tell you what I liked about it and what I don't like about it. So that's what's kind of taken so long for me to make this video, is I wanted to use it in the field several times. But it is one pretty awesome thermal unit. Guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep blinking.